Right. All right. What's going on? How are you? I'm Courtney Rollins with the Life and Transitions Experts YouTube channel and podcast and Facebook group. This is the channel where we're here. We're committed to helping folks through some of the biggest transitions. I like to call myself the property expert when it comes to transitions in life. And that's a lot of the things that I'm doing when I'm actually involved in probate and estate planning and situations. There are a lot of times when someone finds themselves as the fiduciary, the personal representative, the executor, the administrator, whatever the name is, the person responsible for carrying out the estate's wishes or the laws of the land. Um, there's property quite often involved, and they need solutions to those situations, and that's what I try to provide here on this channel. But it also extends to other aspects of probate and really aspects of life that just comes up. And today we're going to focus on a question that I get asked quite often when it comes to filing large estates, particularly in Durham County, North Carolina. How do you file the notice to creditors? A state if you're unaware, or a probate if you're here as a practitioner and you just want to learn about it, or perhaps you see that coming down the road for you, you've never heard of it. Probate is the legal process for settling the affairs of someone who has passed away. When someone passes away and they have property in their name or they have debt in their name or both, there has to be a way to legally address that. And that's the probate process. And one of the aspects of that is allowing people who have claims of debt or things owed to them, they have to have a legal way and opportunity to at least stand up and say, hey, this is what's owed. Then they can make a decision from there if it's verified and based on if there's funds available in the state, how and whether it gets paid. So let's take a look at it. All right. So first thing you're going to do is just gather the necessary materials and open up the probate. You'll either have the death certificate or you'll do a preliminary inventory to find out, is this a large estate or not? As of 2013, I believe it is. Or any property that's over $20,000 as a single, or I believe $30,000 as a couple, but it has to go through a large estate probate. So that's quite often many properties, because quite often there's property involved, and those are usually above that value already by themselves. So you'll open up probate with the necessary information. You will receive at that time the letters of administration if there's not a will, or you will receive letters of testamentary if there's a last will and testament, so that you can execute those wishes. Um, you will need to, once you've done the preliminary inventory, you'll create the notice of creditors. Now, please note, most approved publications and it will create it for you. And so the notice to creditors is essentially almost like an ad that goes into a verified and approved publication. The publication is usually a newspaper because it has to have a certain spread. It has to be something, you just can't put it in a little corner and post it where no one can see it. It has to be conspicuous enough for as many eyes as possible can get on it, to give people who may have a rightful claim to debt in the estate, the opportunity to at least stand up and say, hey, please address this debt. All right. And so when it comes to creating the notice, don't think that you have to type it out yourself. Most publications that are approved will do it for you just based on the death certificate. I know the two that are used in Durham County will do that as well. We've had experience there. And then they publish the notice to creditors in that local publication. Right here, if you're listening on podcasts, I definitely recommend that you go to the YouTube channel and check out the viewing here, because we have the Herald Sun as one, and you can check them out at legals at heraldsun.com. Legals, Legals, at heraldsun.com. 919-828-4500, and the extension is 2. Or you can check out the Carolinian ads at Caros, that's Caro dot news. Ads at Caro.news. And their phone number is 919-834-5558. You can ask for Cynthia or Audria, um, or you can mail it to them. The mailing address is 1504 New Bern Avenue, Raleigh, North Carolina, 27610. The email address is usually the most efficient way and quick way to get a response, although you may get a response through the phone as well. Then they'll publish that. Once it's published, you'll be able to receive a affidavit of of notice to creditors, which shows that you published it, and then you'll fill that out or have it filled out, and it will be you have completed that process. Now, once it's published, it has to run for 4 consecutive weeks. And usually the price for that is around $250 to $300. Expect to pay that amount. After runs for those 4 consecutive weeks, after the fourth week, that's a full month, any creditor will have an additional 90 days to email, or not email, but mail you and mail the courts their claim. And then once you get those, then you can go about addressing them, hopefully negotiating them down, hopefully getting them off the books, or finding out that they're not a claim. Because we do want you to keep more of the funds in the estate so it can go to the beneficiaries or wherever the wishes were. All right. Again, you can negotiate the claims. A lot of people don't know that, but you certainly can. We've helped people do that before. Now, I'm not an attorney, and I'm not giving legal or financial advice. I'm just sharing my experience, and sometimes it's quite often it's helped a lot of people out. But do know that you can negotiate the claims. Make sure you keep proper records. That's the most really important thing, so that you can make a note of all the things that you've done there. All right. So those are really 6 steps that you would go through for the notice to creditors. Um, uh, Yeah, of course, keep records using the estate account. Yeah, I Oh yeah, so when you actually are working with uh, the filing and paying and things of that nature, make sure that you're paying out of the estate's account. Is Some people will pay out of personal's pocket and be reimbursed, but it's just a lot more clean if you're allowed to open up an actual account. Usually in the space where the person who's passed away's account was, that bank will usually let you open up an account in the estate's name, and that just makes things run a little smoother. And so those are some of the tips for you. Actually, if you do need any documents, you can check out estateproservice.com forward slash or backslash forward slash probate forms, or reach out to me. We can jump on a call and hopefully see how we can help out. My information is down there at the bottom. Courtney at estateproservice.com. And hopefully this will be helpful to you. And yeah, check out any more videos if you need free resources on how to deal with probate. And definitely give us a call if you need any support surrounding the probate, particularly when there's property involved and even when there's not property involved. All right. This is the Life in Transitions Experts Podcast. That's LITE. Let your light shine. Cheers.